last week we talked about reasons to make short edits of songs, whether those were spotlight dances like first dances, parents dances, or just the general dancing. And one of the arguments that I hear against this and have for decades is that I will just fade out the song. And in fact, I've seen several DJs who have said, I just tell the bride, whenever she wants me to fade it out, just give me a signal to cut it. I think it's such a horrible thing to do. And I hope you never, ever, ever do that. Let me give you a couple of reasons why. First off, you're asking the bride to make a decision during her first dance about music editing. Really, let her just think about the first dance. Second, by the time she gives you the signal, whatever it is, you give her those, by the time she gives you that, it's too late. If she's really had enough, then the guests have already had enough too. And she's not going to do it as soon as she thinks about it. She's going to go, oh, how much longer is this going to go? That's what's in her brain. It's too long. Another reason is it's just like when people come up to request a song, they never come up at a good time. They always do it like when you're in the mix, right? Well, the same thing is going to happen here. She's going to give you the signal, whatever her signal is. And I've seen it all. It's like, I just tell her, touch her nose. Like, really? I'm dancing with my dad. Hang on, Dad. Right? It's just so stupid. But when you get to that point, she's going to give you that, at the worst possible time, just as it's ramping into the final chorus. Well, if you fade now, it sounds awful, right? I mean, it clearly sounds like you're fading a song when it shouldn't be faded. And if you don't fade it, then she's like, well, why am I even telling you? You told me to tell you. I told you, and then you kept going. And now you risk her walking off of the dance floor before the dance is over. And I mean, if the bride and groom or bride and dad don't have enough interest in that, that's not going to bode well for the rest of it. So there's so many reasons not to do that. And the only reason that I can think of to say, well, I'm not going to do the mix is because it's time consuming. But if you don't already have volume 5 of the 1% solution, how'd they do that? And you need to know how to edit, get the DVD. It's in fact, they're now, maybe by the time you hear this, they will all be available on MP4s, digital downloads. So you won't even have to do DVDs anymore. And if it's not by the time you hear this, it'll be very soon around that. So at any rate, easy to do. And you probably already know how to do it. And here's the cool thing, because I've been doing these edits for 2 decades, all of the songs, I shouldn't say all, but most of the songs that we do for the spotlight dances are already edited. We already have, usually I have 2 or 3 different length versions. So when a client says my song is going to be, whatever the first dance song is, I'm like, I got that. Here's a short version. Here's the original length. Here's a short version. Tell me which one you like. Almost never do they ask you to fade it out or to play the whole song, unless they just don't know. I've been doing this for 2 decades, and now what DJs are seeing is that more and more couples are asking for it, expecting it. And let's be real, it's not because Randy Bartlett was doing it and they all heard about that. I just recognize it. One of my skills is I'm really good at seeing what people are feeling, if that makes sense. I'm watching audiences, I'm watching the bride and groom. Way back when I was like, man, I can tell this song is too long. I wish there was a way to, and there was a time when we had no choice but to fade it out. And it was horrible. So don't fade it out. Make an edit. They're easy to do. And you can also do what we did. I had a group of friends who we shared edits. Like, we're not sharing the music because we already all owned the music, but once I would make an edit of any song, a short edit, I would automatically just send that edit to this small group of friends that were in my group. They would do the same for me. So even if I hadn't used it, they had. And by having a group of, I think we had 4 or 5 people in our group that did that. And shoot, we had everything. We never had to edit anything, or rarely had to edit anything. And if once you learn to edit, listen, the amount of time it takes to edit a song, it's really fast. It's easy. So I hope that helps. Don't fade out, man. It's awful. Your couples and your clients deserve better than that. See you next week.